Hi guys, we've learned about ones, tens, and hundreds, and we've learned about decade numbers. Now we are going to add decade numbers together. And this is a double digit addition, which means two digits on top and two digits on bottom. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to put a tens place and a ones place. I'm then going to, let's say, write the number 20, which is a decade number, and the number 50. Adding decade numbers is super easy, even though you see that it looks like large 20 and 50. You can very easily, when it's decade numbers, look at the one spot and bring the zero down, and then just add the 5 and 7, which is very simple. Each spot, when you add decade numbers, will not be more than 9, unless you do 90 and 10, and then of course you do bring the zero, and then you have 10, and you've moved into the ones, the tens, and the hundreds, just like that. So adding decade numbers. Another thing to think about when you're adding decade numbers, and so let's say you have 50 plus 10. All right. So you can do as I did up at the top, which is just bring your zero down, and the 5 and 1 is 6. Or you can count on your decade numbers. So when you count on your decade numbers, remember 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. So you just count forward. So you have 50 and you count on 10 more is 60. So you're just counting forward your tens, which is very easy for you guys to do because you've been counting tens all year, and some of you even in kindergarten. So you can do that. Now, also, if you do get stuck, you can do your sticks that mean 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All right, here's 10, and then you count them all: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. This is called double digit adding of decade numbers. Remember, here are my decade numbers: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. They all have no ones. Remember that? So we've learned about right here, you see the ones place and the tens place, the ones place, the tens place, and the hundreds place. You've learned about that. And we call it double digit because there's two digits on top, two digits on bottom. So we have upstairs, downstairs, and answer in the basement. So this is double digit adding. Let's do another one. So let's do 60 and 30. All right, sounds like a lot, but remember, we're just going to bring down the zero and then just add the 6 and 3, which is 9. You can look over at your decade numbers and you can just count forward: 60, 70, 80, 90, and you just count forward. You can also do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 10, 20, 30. Add them all up: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So this is adding decade numbers, 2 digits and 2 digits. Now, sometimes you'll see them written this way, 50 plus 10 equals. Well, you just still bring over the 0, and then the 5 and the 1 is 6, and then you can count forward, 50 and 60. You can also still do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 10, and count them all up. So you're going to see double-digit adding of decade numbers going up and down. So let's clear, all right? And we will try this again. We're adding decade numbers. $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80, and $90. When you're adding 2 digits and 2 digits, you're going to look at your places, your ones place, and you're going to look at your tens place. All right. So we'll have 40 plus 20. You bring down the 0, and 4 and 2 is 6. So it's 60. Now, if you need to, you can go 10, 20, 30, 40, 10, 20. Count them all, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. You can also know that you're counting forward here, 40, and you're going to count up 40, 10 more, 10 more, 40, 50, and 60. So it's just counting forward the decade numbers. Now the decade number, remember, if it's written the other way, you just bring over the 0 and the 4 and the 2, and you have 60. But once again, if you get stuck, 10, 20, 30, 40, 10, 20, and you count them all up, and you get 60. So we have double digits, 2 digits, 2 digits on top, and answer in the basement. And then sometimes, so this is a double digit problem on top. But remember, this right here is an equation because it has the equal sign. But you do it the same way. You just stick that 0 right there and add the tens up. It's very easy. This is easier than some other addition. So let's do another one. Let's get that 1 place and that tens place there. All right. Let's do 70 plus 20. Just bring down that 0. 7, 8, 9. You have 90. Okay. Now, if you were to get stuck, you could do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 10, 20, and count them all, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. You could be at 70, and now you're going to count 10 more, 10 more, so 70, 80, 90. And if it were written as an equation, 70 plus 20 equals, you just bring over those zeros, and 7 and 2 is 9, and you get 90. Once again, you could do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 10, 20. So this is adding decade numbers together. We're taking 2 decade numbers and adding them together. Super easy because you don't even have any ones. You just bring your 0 down and count your tens. Okay, so we will be doing some more of this Let's have fun adding some decade numbers.
Bye.